In this video, you'll learn the operational basics of the Archivist scanning system. The information in this guide is given as a general overview. All fields and options allow for creative freedom and technical control. I would advise you to look at the handbook if you'd like to know more. Begin by flipping the power switch on the back of the Archivist scanner. After a moment, use the power button on top of the host computer to power that on as well. If you need to exchange the cores, lift the platters toward yourself, depress the silver tab, and twist the core before removing. Adding cores is similar. Lift the platter and slot the core. It will push down the tab, so simply twist to lock. Start by opening the Archivist software from the desktop. If prompted, click Allow and wait for the program to open. When loading film onto the Archivist scanner, there's a correct orientation and path. Here are the loading orientations. You can see there's one for 16mm without optical sound, 16mm with optical sound, and Super 16. Pay attention to the sprockets. This is the Archivist load path. Make sure that when you place your film on the supply reel, it is following your loading orientation. Depending on how you've wound your film, it will fall one of two ways. This is all right so long as it mirrors on the other side, as in blue to blue and pink to pink. Give yourself ample leader to thread with. Then, begin threading your film following the load path. Skip threading the capstan for now and continue to follow the load path. Make sure the film rests neatly on each peg. Once your uptake reel is set, return to the capstan with your slack and weave the film between the three rollers as shown in the load path. Begin adding tension to each side by rotating the platters until the tension arms are vertical. Ensure that the flap above the gate is shut before continuing. This is the initial GUI of the Archivist software. We have the roll view, which is a series of thumbnails meant to visualize your film strip, the left pane, which contains color grading information, the center pane, which contains transportation and other operational functions, and the right pane, which contains base calibration. In the center pane, click the Load Film button. It will open a dialog box. Make sure you select the correct type of film and loading orientation. Then click Load Film again. The Archivist will now test tension and calibrate light levels. Once that's finished, the first thing you'll do is make a project file from a template. In the top toolbar, go to File and select Open. In the Documents tab, find a template that is the closest match to your film and select Open. To not overwrite the template, immediately return to File and select Save As. Navigate to your folder in your drive, rename the file, and click Save. In addition to the lower GUI, the screen now includes the Job Editor and Image Viewer panes. The Job Editor contains the settings for the project. The Image Viewer is a high-quality preview of the frame. Expand the Outputs and Clips folders in the Job Editor. Using the transport keys in the center pane, scrub forwards until your image appears. Click Stop and use the roll view to locate your first image. Right-click its thumbnail and select Go to this frame. In the left pane, make sure your format of color grading matches your film type. In the roll view, right-click the thumbnail of the first frame that contains an image and select Set Frame. Make sure the value here is 0 and click Set. Find an image with detail, bright whites and grays, and/or skin tones. Click Calibrate Base Now in the right pane. Next, you'll need to set focus. Right-click in the image viewer and select Edit Focus. Click the Autofocus button. Once its automatic process is finished, you're free to fine-tune or just click Save. Now you'll make an export folder. In File Explorer, navigate to your desired location and make a new folder and title it as you wish. Once inside that folder, either click in the address bar, select the text, and copy, or right-click the address bar and select Copy Address as Text. Returning to the Archivist software, inside the Job Editor, click Job Settings and locate the Output Path field. Paste your export address and hit Enter. Check over the film type, black and white option, and image flip to make sure they match your film. You can click through the different outputs to see their framing and aspect ratios. Using the check marks, you can deselect any outputs you don't want to be generated when you run the scan. Check the Clips tab in the Job Editor. The starting frame, frame count, and end frame should be 0, 99,999, and 99,998 respectively. Once everything looks good, click Run Job. The scanner will back up before starting the scan and generating the outputs you've selected. When your tailing leader starts passing through the gate and appears on the scanner, you can click Stop Job. You may have to wait for the last of the files to transfer over before control is returned. Once control is returned, use the transport keys to rewind your film until your heading leader appears. Click Unload Film, go to File, and save your project. You can now close the software and navigate to your Exports folder. Each output you've selected should be in its own folder. Now safely eject your drive and you can shut down the computer. To unload the film, simply do everything you did to load it in reverse. If you haven't quite figured out how to reverse yourself yet, you can just follow the steps in reverse order.